Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach. Today I am so excited to show you how to do a pop-up card using our window plates. And we've got several window plates in our catalog. They've been there for quite a while. And I just want to take and bring it to the next level. I want to show you how you can use them. So let me just show you a few things right off the bat. This is one of our window plates right here. Both of these are window plates, and I want to show you you can use them in different ways. This one I actually cut right out of a piece of cardstock, and I left the whole piece of cardstock, you know, as a layer, okay? This one, I used the frame that goes along with it, which is very, very important. So for this one right here, let me just find the one I used for that one. Here it is. This is the word enjoy, and for each one of these plates, it also comes with a frame. And you've heard me talk about these frames before and how versatile they make your thin metal dies. So this one right here is just amazing. And what I did for this one was I used the whole piece. So I cut it out, and we used it for this piece also. It would work if I put it right side up. Okay, so that's the way I cut that one out. With this one right here, all I did was use the thin metal plate, just like that. Now with this one, okay, are you ready? This is the outside of the card, and on the inside of the card, what I did was I made it a pop-up. Do you see that? Look at that. It's a pop-up, and it's made out of just this same template, okay, this same thin metal die from that same set, and I just did a few little things to it that I'm going to show you how to do today. Isn't that really neat? Let me just, before I do that, I want to show you a couple of the window plate sets that we have. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to bring in this set right here. This is called the gift card window plates. And in this one, you have one that says enjoy, you have one that says love, one that says for you, and one that says happy birthday. Now you can get them as a bundle, and they come with the bundle. They have this little gift card holder. Okay, so you can put this on the outside, and then you can put your gift card in the little holder. If you purchase each one of these this month, remember this is March 2016, you will get 20% off of this one, and you will get 20% off of the other one. It's an amazing deal. And when you see how beautiful these dies are, you're going to just go crazy with it, okay? So that is the set that I'm going to be using today. Now let me just bring in another set that is also called our window plates, and these are the holiday box window plates. Now these don't come in a bundle, but you do get 20% off of these also. The reason I'm highlighting these is because I don't want you to miss the sale. So get on my website, make sure you get them before the end of March 2016, because these are on sale for 20% off. Now let me just show you. Each one of these has that frame around it also. All right, so instead of getting 6 dies, you actually get 12, because like I said, you get the frame with each one of them. So let me show you the beauty of the frame. Here are the 6 dies plus the frames that go along with it, all right? And this is what they look like. So if you wanted to do just the cake, you can do just the cake. If you wanted to do the cake and cut it out, you can do the cake and cut it out. So this is my favorite one. That's why I'm showing it to you. So in order to get this piece like this, I would use both the frame and the cake, and that would cut out the whole piece, and then I would use some mini glue dots and then glue it onto my card just like this. All right, if I wanted to do this and make it like the negative of the cake, what I would do is I would just use this piece onto my cardstock without the frame. Isn't that so neat? And then if you wanted to take this and just make a cake out of it using designer series paper, or you could stamp on it, you could also do that. So this is what the cake looks like, and that's what the frame looks like. This right here is our Christmas tree, obviously. I guess these don't really need an explanation, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. All right, here is our turkey. Isn't that the cutest little thing? So let me show you some of my pages that I did for my calendar. This one right here was done for March, and obviously that was St. Patrick's Day, so I used this set right here, but I used the negative on that one and then stamped underneath it. And then for November, what I did was I did the turkey, and I used just the negative for that one also. Aren't they so adorable? And then, so here's the turkey, here is the Easter egg, and then St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, and of course we did Halloween. So you could use it this way, you could use the frame, Or you could take and use the, I love this, leaving this bigger, and then we're going to, oh, wait until you see what I'm going to do with this at Halloween. So that's what this window box plate looks like, okay? This one's called the Holiday Box Window Plates, and they are gorgeous. Very reasonable, and this month they're even more reasonable because you get them for 20% off, okay? All right, so there's, those are the few things that I needed to show you for that. Here is our Lucky Me 20% off sale. I just wanted to show you that. If you go over to my blog, you can download this and see everything that's on sale only until March 31st. All right, today I'm going to be using some of our Journey Prints paper. This is the media prints, and if you haven't touched our paper, wait until you feel it. It isn't just thin, flimsy paper. This is card weight stock paper. It just feels so heavy that you can make projects out of this. And this happens to be our media prints paper. It is gorgeous. And you're going to see that I've used just bits and pieces of it. So let me just show you. So this is the front of this one. And that's why I'm showing them to you, because they're beautiful on both sides. Love the birds. Just absolutely love the birds. If you're a scrapbooker, this would be an awesome page for that. But I've also used, and you're going to see, that I've also used this for parts of these little guys for my cards also. So that's pretty cool. That's the back end of it. Here's another one. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? This is the media prints paper. And remember, you get 4 of each sheet. So it is thick paper that is absolutely gorgeous. Here's our cute little bird, absolutely adorable. There's the back side of that one. And this one, if you're an owl lover, you need to get this pack of paper. In our catalog, we are just so into owls. I just love it. And then this is the back end of it. Now, this is this piece of paper that I used for this particular card right here. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? And then we have this sheet right here, which on the back of it has our adorable houses. Now, you'll notice that these pattern papers go along with stamp sets that we have also. So in this card right here, like I said, I'm using this piece of paper. Okay, I'm using both sides. You can use on one side or the other. And then for this card right here, I used this paper right here. And you'll notice that I picked up the colors. I try to pick as many colors as I can. And this one happens to be with this paper right here also. All right, just to kind of give you some backgrounds and heads up on what I'm using as far as product goes. All right, so are we ready to get going? Here we go. So I'm going to set these aside since we're not going to be using these. I do need my my birthday frame though. So I'm going to take the Enjoy out, and I'm going to grab the birthday frame right here. And the first thing that we need to do is our inside. So I'm going to bring in my cutter. I'll put this right over here because this is the part that we're going to do first. Okay, the inside of this card. Let's see if I can get it to just set for you. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. Let me bring in my cutter. This is my Journey Blooms cutter, and it has a scoring blade. It also has a cutting blade on it, and I'm going to give you a couple of measurements. So the inside of my card is 5 by 8, and I scored it down the middle at 4 inches. All right? So the first thing that I like to do, of course, I like to do it upside down like this because I like to have this piece on my right-hand side. It's just me, okay? You can do it whichever way you want. Now, what I want to show you so that you can reproduce this and reproduce this is you're gonna look down, okay? You're gonna come down 2 1/4 inches from the top. Now, the way you do this, and the reason I love this cutter, is because it has these little pointy things on the blade, and it tells you exactly where you are. Unfortunately, these numbers are black, and this color cardstock is dark. But I want to give you a cute, that's not a good thing. I want to give you a good tip, not a cute tip, a good tip, okay? So what I want to show you is if it's too dark like this and you can't see it, just take a lighter sheet of paper like this. All right, stick it under your numbers. You're not going to cut through it because the cutting part is over here, but do you see how easy you can see your numbers now? So that's just a little Deb Valder tip, okay? So now what I need to do is I need to bring this piece right over here, okay? I need to bring that over to the, hang on one second, let me just get it where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we're going to line it up straight up and down, the long end going up and down, okay? And I'm going to bring this piece of paper right here over to the 3 5/8 inch. And this is so well defined. It's got numbers all the way down so you can line it up perfectly. This number right here, I need to bring down to the 2 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go all the way down. I just lift this up a little bit, and that's what's nice about this little piece up here, is that you can lift it up. So I'm going to go down to the 2 1/4 inch right down here. So I'm going to bring this little mark right down here to the 2 1/4 inch, just like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut all the way down, and I'm going to go down to the 5 3/4. So I need to go down to 5 3/4, which is right there. All right, so I have cut right down to the 5 3/4 inch mark. So 2 1/4 to 5 3/4. Okay, this piece didn't cut. It was just giving me a better view of my numbers. Okay, that was my tip for the day. We're going to lift up this brown piece of paper. Okay, it's hazelnut actually. We're going to bring it over to the 3 5/8 inch mark right here. And we're going to bring in this so that I can see where I'm cutting. I'm going to go back up to the 2 1/4 inch. So it's exactly the same way. I'm going to go right down to the 5 3/4. All right, so this little mark right here is just going to go right down to the 5 3/4 inch mark, and you're done. So right now what I have is a slit right here and right here, you see? I just made my 2 slits. Now what I need to do is to turn it the long way, okay? So the long edge goes up on the top of my board, and I'm going to take and I'm going to connect these with my scoring blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this off so that you can see the top part of this, and I'm going to bring this over, and what I'm going to do is lift this up, and then just, actually if you want, you can just line it up with the exact number right over here, okay, which over here is on this side, and on this side, all right, what I'm going to do is just line up this cut mark and this cut mark with my little scoring blade, okay, and I'm going to score just like that. It's just easy to connect these two, all right, lift it up, turn it around. We're going to do the same thing. So let me just tell you what we did again, all right? I cut the 2 slits, okay? I'll put the measurements on my blog. I cut the 2 slits, and now I'm just connecting the 2 slit marks. The last thing that I need to do, remember this is 8 inches wide. We need to bring this over to the 4 inch mark, okay, because that's half of 8 inches, and we're just going to score the center of it, because now the center of my card is going to be right here. All right, so I just scored it. So now what it looks like is this. It's got a score mark here. The score mark here goes here and here. You don't want it to go all the way down. We don't want this part right here to be scored. Just this part and this part. Now, before I go bending it anymore, let me get this out of the way. Before I go bending it anymore, we're going to take our birthday banner and we're going to put it on here. Ah, there it is. I had the Enjoy one. Okay, so we're going to take our birthday banner. We're going to line it up evenly. So you're going to have your score marks are right here, and your slit marks are right here. I'm just lining this up very evenly, and I'm just going to go run it through my Journey Platinum and cut it, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and this is what it looked like. This is what it looks like after I ran it through the Journey Journey Platinum. Okay, and now what I need to do is to grab my bloom tool, and I'm going to change this end right here to, let me grab my little poker. Okay, I can do one of a couple different pokers. Let me see, I'm going to do this one though. Excuse me. We're going to look for that little notch right there, and we're going to line it up with these little notches right here, and depending on how far you want it to stick out, there you go. So I've got my pointy thing and I've got my brush. Let's start with the brush and brush out as many pieces as we can. This is going to get it out of your cardstock, and it's going to, there we go. See, it just pops right off. Now, we're going to show you how easy this is. Okay? Take and put this to the side, and let's take our little pokey tool and see how delicately beautiful this is. Look at that. All right, so I'm just going to be very careful when I pop these things out. They're falling out on their own, but I just want my pokey thing here just in case. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? See how easy that was? Okay, and let's just get out the little details right here. Alrighty, here we go. And almost done. Ta-da! Make sure there's a little hole in there. All right, so we've got all of our little details for the card. And almost done. Okay, so there's the details for our card. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to fold. Okay? And you'll notice that they go all in different directions. So this is very important. Pay attention. All right? So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take my hands and very carefully pop this up, okay? Because this is very thin. If we get it started, it's going to come beautifully when we just fold the middle, all right? So if I can just lay this down and pop this up just very delicately, all right? This, remember, you want to score this before you do this middle part, because if you try to do it now, it's going to be too fragile. But we've already got these little score marks right there because we scored it when we scored the whole middle part of it. All right, now you see how that's going up? It's absolutely going exactly the way I want it. I'm just going to help it a little bit because this is very delicate. You don't want to rip it. Look at that. And then I'm going to take this, carefully, lay it down. Make sure that it goes nice and even. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay, ready? Ta-da! Okay, now what I'm going to do, keep checking it just to make sure, I'm going to grab my beautiful green bone folder from Fun Stamper's Journey and just bone fold my card to make sure those are all nice and crisp. And that's as easy as it is. Boom, fast, done, and out of the way. Now the next piece that we're going to do for the inside, okay, is going to be this back piece. But before I do that, I want to do some stamping around the outside of it. So I'm just going to grab a scrap sheet of paper and we're going to just stamp the back end of this, okay? Let me grab my hazelnut. This is hazelnut paper. It's one of my favorite brown pieces, all right? Favorite brown colors, I should say. And we're just going to take and randomly stamp this background. Whoops, this background stamp. Let's see if I can grab that. There we go. All right. I don't want to get it onto my happy birthday right here, so I might mask a little bit. There we go. Doing a good job here. If I do say so myself. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Looking good. See, and I'm not getting any on. Well, I did get a little, but pretend we didn't. Huh. Okay, so we're going to grab this right here and stamp and stamp. Almost done. I love texture. I love color. And this is just working out perfect. Okay, add that right there. And one more, I think, right there. All right, don't want to overdo it. All done. All right, now let's grab our scrap piece of paper out of there. Grab our scrap piece of paper out of there. I did accidentally go over the top there, but that's okay. It looks good. And then what I want to do is I want to show you how to clean your stamps, because this is very important to keep them clean as you go along. I just have an old cloth. It's a lint-free cloth. I have some of our True Color Fusion cleaner. I'm just going to spray some on the cloth and watch how beautiful this is when I clean it. All I have to do is just rub it and it comes out absolutely clean. Alrighty, so that is our cleaning method. You do want to clean it right away. And the next thing that we're going to do is add our pattern paper underneath it. All right, so I'm going to grab my pattern piece of paper. I just did this 3x4, and you got to decide. It's so hard to decide what side you want because they're both beautiful. I think I'm going to use that because it's got some beautiful pieces in there. Fold it in half. Okay, 3x4. I folded it in half, and then what I'm going to do is put adhesive on the outside of this piece right here, because this has to get glued to this side. You don't want to put glue on the whole thing because otherwise it'll come through here. So I'm just going to take my Easy Glide and just put it on the edges here and here, and that's all that you need. This Easy Glide sticks so well. Okay, and then what I like to do is to fold it in half, slide it on, just like that. Okay, can you see that? I'm just sliding it on. All right, and then close it. All right, so the back end of it looks just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? It makes this whole thing just pop. Now let me just show you another card that I had done. I did this months ago. I just did the outside of it like this, and then on the inside of it, made it very plain. You don't have to get real fancy, but it's just another little pop-up card with the happy birthday. And that's the inside of our card. Oh, let me just add our words. I used one of our thin metal framelits here, thin metal frames, and then I used the paper piercer to go along with it. I love the way these nest together. And this particular one is called the Ornate Label Piercing Elements and the Ornate Label Thin Metal Dies. So they go together. These are also on sale. Make your list in the back of the book of all the dies that you want and order them before March 31st, 2016, because you are going to want to have these and you're going to save so much money. It's going to be such a savings that you're going to actually get some of them for free, I'm sure. Okay? By the time you do all the savings and then do the pricing, and I'm sure you're going to end up saving lots and lots of money. All right, so I've got my little words. I'm going to take now and add my, my foam squares to the back end of this and just add that to the inside of my card. And we actually did the inside of the card before the outside of the card, and it's all done. All right, except we have to put our little saying on the inside, you know, who it's from, who it's not from. Okay, all right, so there is the little words right there. Now what I'm going to do is add this to my card base. So here's my card base, and you know normally I cut my cards 11 1/4, or I'm sorry, 11 by 4 1/4, and then score it at 5 1/2. But for this card you have to open it this way. So I had to cut it at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and score it at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's my card base. And now what I need to do is I need to put this in here just like that. So let me show you how I do that. I'm going to take and put some adhesive on just one of the sides. Okay, so I'll just put it here and here and here and here. Whoops, there we go. Alrighty, so now let's make sure we have it right side up. Alright, and I'm going to just slide it into my card and make sure it's even from top to bottom. Okay, so I just slid it right into the middle of the card. Okay, and then I'm going to put, so there we are with half of it. Now I'm going to take and put my adhesive on the rest of it and close the card. And when you do that, you know it's going to open up perfectly. Ta-da! Okay, so when you go to open it, it looks just like this. Now we need to do the outside of our card. That's a piece of cake. That's an absolute positive piece of cake. Get it? Birthday cake. All right, so this is the outside of our card, and this does fit into a nice 8 1/2 or a regular envelope. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card pieces. The measurements for these will be on my blog, so you don't even have to ask. I'm going to take, this is the side that I used for this card, but the inside I used the back side of it. So I'm going to use these two pieces and see how I've incorporated the little owl right there. Love, love that. So let's put our adhesive right here and add that to this layer. And I made this bottom layer just 1/8 of an inch small or larger than the pattern piece, so it just gives it a hint of color. All right, and we're going to take and put adhesive here and add that to our long piece. Now I did add my bow before I added the pieces, so let's grab our satin ribbon, and it's not a bow, it's actually just a knot. And I like to do that before, I like to tie it before I cut the ribbon, and then I don't have any waste. All right, you know me, always trying to save paper. So when I do this satin ribbon, because it's shiny on one side and not the other, I do try to turn it as I'm going along. So when I go to pull this through, watch what I do. Before I pull it tight, I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to turn. Okay, turn, 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 and I'm going to turn this one also. So turn and then tighten, just like that. And then all the shiny pieces are up. Now let me take my super fantastic scissors and just trim this off like this. Now I'm gonna spruce it up at the end. I just wanted to make sure that I got my ribbon down in place before before I adhered it. All right, so let's grab our card because we are almost done. I'm going to grab my card, and then I'm going to just kind of place this where I think it's going to be. Now, if you know me, I don't like to adhere before I stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp, and I'm going to take my ink pad, and I'm going to actually stamp the words before I adhere it down, because if I made a mistake, I can just push this up and stamp it someplace else. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to just ink this up, and because this is one of the stamp sets, excuse me, that doesn't have the indexing on it yet, I just always tell my customers to make sure that you place the stamp so that the little flower here is always on the top, and then it doesn't matter what it looks like when you can't see it. You can always remember that the flower, if you stamp it with the flower up, then the words are going to be right side up. And that came from a stamp set that I use all the time. It's called Little Big Greetings, and that's the stamp set right here. It's got a little bit of everything in it. Happy birthday, you are awesome, wishing you well, everything is in there. A great stamp set to have. And then this one right here is the inside, and that's called Birthday Greetings. And that, I used that piece right there, and I used the Wishing You a Blessed Birthday, which I use quite a bit also. Alrighty, so let's just take this, let's put this back to where I had it before I started talking with my hands, and I'm just going to add my sentiment. Ta-da! Okay, now I didn't get that, and that's what I meant by, see, there's something underneath there. I should have actually stamped this before I put all my insides to it, but it's good because then I got to show you how I can fix it. There, now that's perfect. So now when I go to place this, okay, it's always good to see that people make mistakes because then you can see how to correct them. This was wrong, this was right. So now I'm just going to take, for this bottom piece, I'm just going to use my Easy Glide and add that to the bottom. And there we go. And for this piece, because I want it to pop up just a little bit, I'm going to take and use my medium-sized foam squares and put one on the bottom and one on the top. And that's going to work out just perfect. Okay, so let's glue these on. And our card is done. I'm going to play with the little bow afterwards because it's a little bit too big for me. And here's our card. Do you see how gorgeous this paper is? You really need to take a look. If you are a paper hoarder, you really want to take a look at the Fun Stamper's Journey paper. It is extra thick, which just makes it so much more lumptious. And the patterns and the colors are to die for. And then here's the inside of my card. I hoped you liked my post for today. I loved doing this card. I love the actual window plates. They are amazing. And remember, ours have that extra frame, so it makes it twice as versatile. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Take care, have a great day, and hope to see you